Hey, it's Frankie Savvy. This is Hurricane Irene update number 5. And I wanted to start by showing the infrared satellite picture. And to me, it appears that Irene, and actually according to the 8 p.m. advisory, by the way, it's 9:30 p.m. On August 26, 2011. It looks as though it's restructuring itself and becoming more symmetrical. There is dry air within the core of the storm. We'll see how it handles it. It appears that the eastern side of the storm is getting better organized, but there's still some dry air on the west side. Now, I am not a hurricane expert here, but I'm going to stop it right. There's actually 2 more frames, 3 more frames. There we go. This is the current frame of the hurricane. It has 100-mile-per-hour sustained winds with gusts to 120. They're already feeling the effects in North Carolina. Very heavy rain, very heavy winds. Tropical storm force winds haven't experienced the hurricane. The hurricane force winds extend about, I believe it's 50 or 60 miles from the center at the moment, as it works its way up the coast and makes a landfall somewhere in the Outer Banks, right in this vicinity. But they are predicting it to make landfall as a Category 1, probably with winds around 90, 95 miles an hour. Now, I mean, I've been looking at this a while. It seems the dry air is starting to filter out. Will it maintain its strength as it pulls off? Now, the track, it depends, I guess, on the track of it. I mean, the Outer Banks aren't really a significant piece of land. So, yes, going over this could definitely cause the hurricane to slowly weaken, but if it stayed a little farther over the water here and as it made its way up the coast, we could see it maintaining a stronger hurricane strength. Now, this is the hurricane tracker from the Weather Channel, and I really do like this map because it's interactive. You could zoom in, you could clear options. This shows the current wind field of the storm and the current track. Now, we are currently here. Again, this is the 8 p.m. advisory. It's 100 miles per hour. The pressure was a lot higher earlier this afternoon, about 9:57, I believe it got to. This is predicting Hurricane Irene to be a Category 1 with wind speed of 85. It looks like it would make landfall in the southern Outer Banks here, and then as it runs parallel across the coast, making landfall pretty much over Long Beach in the south side of Queens here, and bringing heavy winds to Long Island and New York, and this would be the worst scenario. Obviously, though, the hurricane force winds would end abruptly as it would be downgraded to a tropical storm after making landfall. Now, a lot of people have been questioning, will the hurricane be a tropical storm by the time it gets up to Long Island? My opinion is that it would remain a Cat 1 all the way until it makes a secondary landfall, well, third landfall in Connecticut at least. And that's what they show here as of the 8 p.m. advisory. This is the hurricane force winds in yellow, and then this is the tropical storm force winds in this outer area here. So you could just see gale force winds are in this blue. This dark area is the hurricane force winds. So a lot of the metro area, including New York and just on the edge of Philadelphia, would experience these hurricane force winds. I have a strong feeling that it will still be a hurricane when it works its way up and makes a landfall somewhere in the south side of Queens or Nassau County, according to this track. Probably a weak Category 1 of about 75 mile per hour sustained winds. But here's the thing, the storm is so large. Look at this wind field. If it comes up the coast and just devours this area from eastern Pennsylvania all the way out to here would be the tropical storm force winds. So you have, I believe they predict that we will be experiencing tropical storm force winds in the Northeast for about as long as 20 hours before it's all said and done. Obviously, for a few hours in there, we could have gusts into hurricane force winds as the center comes closer to the coast. Again, we're still seeing how strong the hurricane becomes, but at the current present moment, it seems like it will be a hurricane all the way until just as it enters Massachusetts. It would be downgraded to a strong tropical storm, but the hurricane force winds would make its way through the mid-sections of Connecticut. Again, you could see that it's a lot larger from the center on the east side of the storm. So the east side of the storm, if you're on the east side of the center of this storm, I would say you will definitely see gusts over 80 or 90, even up to 100 miles per hour. And heavy rain and the surge is what we're really going to be concerned about. Well, let me show you. This is the satellite. Hold on. This is the model analysis. The latest GFS ran at 6 p.m. I'm just going to show you this one model because all the models are now in this consensus here of bringing the storm right on the outskirts and bringing it over water and coming right over central Long Island, right into New England. Now, the one thing you can kind of get on when you're reading strength out of the GFS, now I'm not saying the GFS is strictly a strength model, but you could really see the pressure here. This is 980 millibars, this is 970. That means this little center area is about 960 millibars. So I'm thinking the current is 950. It will still be a hurricane with that low of a millibar pressure. It is hard to say that this thing would be a tropical storm at this point. And look at the wind area here. In any case, it's just a very, very potent storm. Now this shows a central pressure in this vicinity of 9. This is 980. This would be 970. So now you're raising the millibar pressure about 10. You know, usually when you get to 970, 980, you're a very weak hurricane, tropical storm force, probably a tropical storm, and that's where they think it would become a tropical storm. So the GFS keeps with the current predictions from the National Hurricane Center at keeping the storm a Category 1 hurricane when it makes landfall just off the shore, probably the south side of Nassau or Queens, and it's just a very large storm and a lot of rain, and the storm surge is probably the worst part of this storm. But a very, very potent storm here that the Northeast has not seen in a very long time. I just wanted to reiterate, this is the 8 p.m. advisory. I might update us again for a 6th time now. I'm going to try and do 2 a day between now and tomorrow. Again, I'm going to do some more live footage. But really, these reports I'm reporting is just this about the storm. I do live, however, right in the heart of Long Island here, right in the heart of the what would be just east of the center, the worst part of the storm if it came through Long Island. So I am keeping an eye on this thing, and if it remained a Category 2, it would be even more widespread damage. But really what we're really looking at is the storm surge. But let me end this video. It's getting close to 8 minutes, but this is the 5th update. I will have more on this. If anybody is in this region of all up and down the coast, please, you can ask me questions. But again, I'm no hurricane expert. I'm just doing this to document the storm and what I know as a student of weather. So just don't take my exact advice as word, and with these storms even the experts have trouble with, but just I hope you guys are enjoying these updates, and I will keep making them through the storm and hopefully have some live footage regardless of what we get in my region when it's all said and done. Thank you guys for joining me, and I'll be back later.